welcome to my show, Searching for Integrity. My name really is John Smith, and I'm searching for people with integrity. Why? Because our country suffers from IDD, integrity deficit disorder. We have today Renaye Thornborrow and her book, Adventures in Wisdom Life Coaching Program for Kids Curriculum. How'd I do with that, Renaye?
Did great with that, John.
Now, I'm gonna pull one on you. Having seen you, you'll know immediately what I'm saying. Canuck, hook'em.
Alabaloo, connect, connect.
That's it. And then
Yeah.
switch it over to hook.
And we have hook 'em horns. That's right.
That's
yes.
right.
Because you're a screaming eagle, right?
No, I was just in and out. I was
Ah,
just back from Army, Vietnam, that kind of thing.
my goodness. Well, thanks for your service. But yes, I am both a Aggie and a Longhorn, so I can gig 'em this and then hang loose. And I love you as well in sign language.
Oh, really? I
Yes.
didn't know that.
Yes.
Now, I see you have twins.
I do. They're 21 years old now, seniors in college.
How about that? I
Yeah.
have twin sons that are twins,
Oh, fantastic.
and they just turned 53.
My goodness.
Yeah. Nevertheless, that was our my office manager and producer here is Mac. He has girls, I believe, 5 or 6 years old. They're twins.
Oh, fantastic. Well, I actually happen to be an identical twin. So I have a
Oh,
twin
really?
sister. Yes, and she lives in Australia. I live in Austin, Texas, in the United States.
That's
So we've got
great.
twins all over, don't we?
Yeah, that's right. Um, tell me the best thing for you that you'd like to do. I mean, you take it all and put it over here. I'll do that later, or we got to do it. That type of thing. Tell me what you really like to do first, and then we'll do second.
Well, I mean, as far as my passion and mission in life, for the last 10 years, I have been leading a worldwide mission to bring life coaching and mindset skills to children, really helping them develop the self-esteem, confidence, resilience, coping skills, and self-leadership to be confident and prepared to thrive in life and really be who they're meant to be in the world, John. And it really was inspired by having my own kids so many years ago.
So many years ago, quite a
Yep.
bit.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. It's good. They're legal now, over 21. So
Neither one of them drink, though. It's amazing.
that is amazing. They must
Yeah.
be athletes in some way.
No, they're not. They just make that choice for themselves, which I think is amazing.
Very good. Very good. What's the thing that when you first begin, uh, do you have I guess when you look at people that I guess want to train a certain area or impart or age, that type of thing, does that work for those people?
Yeah. So we help people become a life coach for kids, and we really focus on the ages, or for kids, the ages of 6 through 12. We want to reach kids while they're young and they're first getting life experiences in elementary and middle school, and really supporting them in navigating those challenges that they're going to have in life. And we've got coaches in over 30 countries and been doing this for over a decade now, and really helping transform the lives of children and families.
Well, that's an amazing effort and an amazing success.
Well, it's been a labor of love.
Yeah, I guess it has. I look at I have different sets of grandkids. My first kids were twins, and then that was with my first wife. And then I decided that I wanted more children, and she didn't.
Mm.
So that's what caused us to part. After that, then I've got another area. There, my daughter. she's got three sons, my three
Uh-huh.
sons,
Yes.
and and they're the third one came in a month ago. The other two were, I want to say, 4 years and 6 years.
Perfect age. Yeah.
It is. It is. I wonder though if I've got something that my daughter can do somehow, um, because those kids, the older kids, grandkids, just scream and cry and just all day, all night. Um, Once upon a time, I was in the army when I got
Hmm.
back from Vietnam, and I became a drill sergeant, and I was the honor graduate of the drill sergeant school. So whenever all that bad behavior begins, I start yelling, and and it doesn't work.
Doesn't
So
work. Doesn't work with
no,
kids or grown-ups. It only works in the army because you don't have a say. Yeah.
well, it's I just wish that so much that she's a perfect person to do this,
Hmm.
and doing. She really is, and I'm going to tell her about this.
You might have her check us out. And even if she's not interested in becoming a coach herself, she might be interested in having one of our coaches work with her and her children.
Yes, exactly. You bet. Um, the result of all of that is that I don't get invited very much to the house
Hmm.
because because I can't take it. It's
Yeah.
just so much you can handle. Anyway, um, one of the things I looked at, you have a coach, I believe. Her name is Dixie.
Hmm.
Is that right? Tell me about Dixie.
Dixie. Well, yeah, Dixie is one of our coaches who's an educator. I know we've got an interview with her on our website and some success stories that she's had with different children. And we have so many success stories and interviews on there. I don't remember all the specifics, but I will tell you, I know that I think she's been with us for 2 or 3 years now, and she works her business on a part-time basis and is also an educator and really supporting her community, supporting those children outside of the classroom. What we find with educators who join us is they just really are so passionate about developing the whole child. In the school system, so much of their time is focused on the academics. That's how their time needs to be spent and how they're measured. And so many of our educators are really wanting to support children in the social emotional side of their development as well. So that's why a lot of them do become coaches, and some of them stay in the classroom and have a coaching business on the side. And we've actually had some educators also transition out of the classroom so they can develop their coaching business, either if they want a part-time business and more flexibility in their lives, or even new full-time careers.
There's a lot there, a whole lot.
Yeah.
Um, uh, I have a sister named Dixie,
Good
and
name.
she's in Missouri right now. Now, you know
Uh,
why you can tell the difference between Mississippi, Missouri, and Missouri?
I don't.
It's in St. Louis. That's where it's proper. Otherwise, it's not.
Did not know that.
Yeah, and that's where they live right now. My sister.
Good. Learn
Um,
something new today.
yeah. Now, I also like the part about where I was reading parts of your website, which is an outstanding website. Um,
Appreciate it.
it is the grungies.
Yes.
Yes, tell me about the grungies. Some more about that.
Yes. Yes. So with children, you were talking about how your grandchildren can get upset and yelling. Well, a lot of times kids will have feelings, but they don't understand what's causing them. And so what we do in our curriculum, so what we teach mindset skills to children through stories. So we call them coaching stories, and each one is designed to teach a certain mindset skill. We teach 27 different mindset skills. Integrity is one of them. We can share more about that in just a minute. But when it comes to grungies and dragons, those are some terms from our curriculum that we use to support children and learning how to talk about how they're feeling and how they're thinking. So with the grungies, that's, how you're feeling in your body. They just feel off. They know something is not quite right. Well, our feelings are created from our thoughts. And whenever we have negative thoughts, or the negative thoughts could be about ourselves, about the situation that we're facing, then that tends to cause those grungy feelings. And so we call those negative thoughts dragons. It's just a very child-friendly way to talk about feelings and thinking, and supporting kids and learning how to identify their thoughts so that they can then shift their thoughts to something that's more supportive. And it's a skill. It takes time and some practice, but we teach them a skill set on how to go through that process. So, if a child is feeling a grungy feeling, we teach them to pause, to breathe, to examine what they're thinking about, because whatever they're thinking about is what's causing that upset within them, and then to gently shift their thinking from that.
Well, there's not really a graduate school after 12 years old, but there is a matter of aging and then behavior, and then you find yourself finding or looking for a shrink. So shrinks, there's another one to your category. Let's see, is that something that you could teach with that?
Are you talking about therapy, or in counseling and therapy?
No, the anxiety, the grungies, those kinds of things.
That anxiety. So a lot of our coaches work with children who have kind of mild anxiety, whether it's going to school, or afraid of the dark, or maybe afraid of spiders, or afraid of swimming. And so our coaches can absolutely support children with that, because what we do, John, is we teach children the brain science behind why these mindset skills work. And one of the things that we teach kids, a lot of times kids are going to experience anxiety whenever they're doing something new. And what happens is, whenever you're doing something new, there's this automatic gap from where they are to where they want to be, but they don't understand there's no what's called brain patterns, neural pathways in their brain between how to get from point A to point B. And so what children need to learn is that how to build a neural pathway between point A to point B. And that is through things like practicing, visualization, learning more about the situation, and actually being in action. So they're building those neural pathways to be able to be successful with doing whatever it is that they're wanting to do. So we teach kids about how their brain works, and when they understand how their brain works and how to take little steps to build those neural pathways, it supports them in reducing anxiety in certain situations and being able to achieve their goals. Another thing we teach kids about is their comfort zone, and that is that anytime you're doing something new, they're going to have to step outside of their comfort zone. And again, the comfort zone is where you have lots of neural pathways. You're going to feel uncomfortable when you don't have them. And so it's all about kind of creating comfort around something that's new and something that's different. And we use stories, coaching stories, to teach these different concepts to kids so they can understand how their mind works.
Well, as I'm listening to you, I'm thinking a lot of adults can use that. Do you bar the doors when you won't let them in? You got to go find yourself a shrink.
No, and there's a difference between counseling and therapy, John. If you look at mental health on a continuum, we have a mental wellness on one side, we have mental illness on the other side. Counselors and therapists really focus on that mental illness side. So supporting children and even grown-ups who aren't quite, they're having difficulty functioning, or just things that are really challenging for them, helping them get to a point of mental wellness so they can function better in life. Whereas coaching and life coaches are really supporting on the mental wellness side and proactively helping people develop these mindset skills to be more empowered in their lives, to learn how to develop their resilience and coping skills, to learn how to build their confidence and their self-esteem so they can navigate those ups and downs of growing up. Learning skills that support mental health, like gratitude, as I mentioned earlier, visualization, affirmations, learning goal setting. Research shows that people who set goals and go for their goals, have some direction in their life, tend to be happier, and just really supporting them in developing some of those skill sets. But, as far as, coaching adults, some of our coaches work with teens, some of them even use our work with adults. I mean, even though our ideal sweet spot is that ages kind of 6 through 12, we do have some coaches that work with the older ones too.
Really, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Which ones, I guess it's a lot easier to teach the lower age group versus trying to deal with an adult.
Well, what's amazing is that young children can grasp this very quickly and very easily. And because they don't have such ingrained negative thought patterns, they often adapt these skills and this way of
Right?
thinking much quicker than,
Yeah.
say, an adult would, where we have much more ingrained thought patterns of negative self-talk. We give away a free story on our website on how to develop positive self-talk. It comes directly from our curriculum. And the reason why we give that one away, John, is because we want people to understand what coaching is all about. This isn't about how to get your kid to behave. It's all about supporting children and learning how to be a leader of their own lives, to make good decisions for themselves. And learning how to develop positive self-talk is such an important skill for children in helping them see themselves in a more seeing their uniqueness and seeing themselves in the light that they are, in building their confidence and going for it in life, in setting and achieving their goals, and just in it's the root of a lot of how they experience their lives, themselves, and how the world works.
Right. Do you find it easier to teach with a single kid in the family or 4 kids in the family?
Our coaches work with children in a variety of ways, and it really depends on their skill set, John. Some of our coaches will work one-on-one, some will have small groups, so might work with a family. Some even
Right.
do workshops. So it really depends on how they most like to work with children. They work online, live coaching online. They also work in person. So they have flexibility in how they develop their businesses and how they coach kids. But it really is about live coaching. So we're all about the important thing about live coaching, John, is we're taking information and we're creating transformation. It really takes this human to human connection to create transformation or true change in someone's lives. And that's one of the reasons why our coaches always work live with their clients. So we don't stick kids in front of videos. It's always going to be a live interaction.
That's good. That's good. I read from your website that you've got 27 mindset skills.
Correct.
How do you choose? Is it 1 to 10, 20? How do you break it up?
That's a great question. So what we do is we have an intake process with our clients, with both the parent and with the child, to explore what it is they most want to work in. And most of our skills are broken into what we call coaching packages, and they're around certain like transformations, like building self-esteem, building self-confidence, developing resilience and coping skills, learning how to set and achieve their goals. So it's grouping them into anywhere from like 5 to 8 skill books so that it's not the whole 27. And then once you complete a package working with a child, say on confidence, you might move into the developing the skills around self-esteem. But at the core of all of our coaching packages that our coaches work with, we always start with what we call mind power. And that's developing and helping children understand how their mind works. So it really is it's the core of mindset skills. It's about conscious mind, subconscious mind, learning about their comfort zone, learning about the neural pathways in their mind and how that supports them in building their confidence, in building their self-esteem, and also in mitigating whenever they're feeling a little bit anxious. And they learn about their reticular activating system. And we also talk about shifting their thinking there too, which is the grungies and dragons conversation we were talking about earlier. Those core concepts go through every
Sure.
coaching package that we do.
Yeah. Now I'm looking at the math here. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
It says since 2013, her company,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
and then I started thinking, now wait a second, it's 2023. She's doing 10 years.
That's
That's
right.
quite a deal.
It is.
Congratulations.
Well, thank you.
And
It's been quite a journey.
an anniversary, I would guess, to that.
Yeah, in May we celebrated 10 years of bringing, helping people become life coaches for kids and reaching children all around the world. It's been an amazing journey.
It is. I can tell. You still got the energy too.
I do. The
You
work is
do.
just so important. And then the people I get to work with, both on my team as well as our coaches, are just so amazing. And the impact they're having on children and families, I read their stories and I tear up, and it's why it helps me navigate the rough times, is just knowing the impact that they're having. Keeps me going.
Right, right. I wondered, I met Jack Canfield at one of the annuals that they do in Philadelphia,
Uh-huh.
the Harrisons,
Yep.
and I went there one year
Uh-huh.
and spoke to Jack a little bit, rode down the elevator with him a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and interesting guy,
He
interesting
is.
guy.
He is. He's had such a wonderful impact in the personal development space, and trained so many coaches for adults, and the impact he's had with not just the whole Chicken Soup for the Soul series, but his
Right,
success principles. I mean, what an amazing man he is.
he is, he is. If if you're a teacher and if you're a coach, do you have to really put them through the grinder to see which ones go here, which ones go there, that type of thing?
Are you talking about to become a life coach for kids?
Yes.
Yeah. So we have a whole application process, interview process for someone to become one of our what we call certified wisdom coaches. And
Right.
the majority of people who join us are from the life coaching profession, education profession, counseling, therapy, or they're in some other business where they're working with children. We're considered a coaching specialty, so we're an add-on to what a lot of our coaches are already doing in as far as their work in the world. And as far as the way our curriculum works, it really guides their way in working with children. So we have a step-by-step, what we call story coaching process, where we have the story, we have discussion questions, we have activities, we have take-home sheets for the parents, and we have kind of a check-in and review process. So we have a process that our coaches use to be successful on the coaching side. Then we also support our coaches on being successful on the business side through marketing, coaching, business resources, and training to really support them on that, as well as our community, where we're staying in community with our coaches and supporting them, answering their questions so that they can get out there and do their work in the world.
Way to go. Way to go. Um, where would people find you, find your website, find an author other than yourself that's doing the same thing?
Yeah. Well, to learn more about what we're doing, adventuresinwisdom.com. And if
Mhm.
someone's intrigued about becoming a coach, we invite you we have a tab there, it's called Be a Coach. Download a free coaching story, see what it's all about. And if you're intrigued, watch the overview about the program and see if it might be a good fit for you. And if someone is a parent and maybe they're interested in hiring one of our coaches to work with their child, we have a tab that says for parents, and that's where the parents can complete a form, share a little bit about what they're looking for support with, the results they would like to find with the coach or receive with the coaching. And then it just from there, we share that to our coaches. Whoever has availability can respond directly to those parents. So, we're out of the loop, but it's a conversation between coaches and parents. And if the parents find a good fit, they can hire one of our coaches there. But, for anyone who's curious about what life coaching for kids is all about, download that free coaching story on our website. We have a tab there. It's actually called Free Story. And it gives them an opportunity to experience the curriculum and see what it's all about.
We'll give my audience the website so they can tune in.
All righty. Yep. Adventuresinwisdom.com.
Can't get any simpler than that. Or searching for integrity. That's sort of well.
And searching for integrity. And integrity is one of the mindset skills that we teach, John. Is one of the most important skills I feel like for self-leadership. And it's part of a segment of our program we call it Inner Power. And it's supporting children in developing some of those core values of self-leaders around
Right.
integrity, respect, self-respect, as well as self-responsibility.
Right. That's wonderful. I can't get enough of that. Well, I want you to know that we've had a good time. I have. I know my audience is, and you'll find that. And my listeners are also going to find as well. And then now there's something else, some relief. They now heard about relief. Yeah.
Good.
Whether it's them or us, one or the other.
Right.
I think about it, of course, in terms of listeners coming in, tuning in for searching for integrity. And I have a special adios, and that is so long and happy trails to all until we meet again.